Hey, party people. This video is not going to be a video on how to drape on a dress form. This video is going to be about how to use freeform draping experiments and incorporating that as part of your fashion design process and how to use it possibly as part of your final fashion illustration. I've started by taking some muslin, I've steamed it, I've blocked it, I've drawn my grain lines, I threw it on the dress form. On the bias, I've double pinned it along center front to make sure I am staying on grain. And I have this big piece of muslin because I thought I was going to do something maybe asymmetrical, but kind of midway I decided that I should probably keep things kind of simple and straightforward for this tutorial, right? For this step, I don't have a lot of instruction. Just let your imagination run free and create interesting forms and drapes. And a lot of people prefer working by hand. Madeleine Vianney draped every single one of her designs. She was not a big sketcher. And just have fun. When you're choosing your fabric for this initial step, you can do muslin. I would recommend a cheap material that reflects the drapeability of your final fabric. So, I always recommend in the design process to choose your fabrics early on. So if your final dresses are going to be denim or like a chambray, then a muslin works really great. If your final dresses are going to be like a silk charmeuse, a silk jersey, matte jersey, you probably want to do something slinky, like find a cheap polyester charmeuse instead, right? So you can get that slinkiness of the drape kind of in your practice experiments. I would recommend a light neutral color like this muslin, unless you have a print in mind and you're making a deliberate choice in playing with that print on the dress form. For example, if you want to play with a stripe and you want to play with how you can move that stripe by using different grain lines and different drapes, and you really want to study that and put that onto your designs. Do not drape an entire garment. Okay? Drape a section, just a cool, interesting section, and then take photos. Make sure that with your camera, you are doing it dead straight on, just perfectly straight, no weird angles. Do not shoot it high, selfie angle. Do not shoot it low, okay? Straight, dead on. I took my photos and I threw them into Photoshop and I printed a bunch of copies, and I printed them all in different sizes because it's not so much the exact look on the dress form that I want, but the look of the drape. And the look of the drape can be done in a lot of different sizes, and we're going to play around with that on the figure. You can do everything I'm about to show you in Photoshop if you prefer it, but let's go over the materials really quick. First up, I have printouts of the drape in a bunch of different sizes. I have fashion figure templates, and I have flat templates. Today I'm going to work with flat templates, but you can do this on figures as well. I personally think it works better on flat templates though. You'll need scissors, magic tape, which you can write on, or a dry adhesive like this stuff. Glue sticks, I don't love glue sticks, and a lot of glues are too wet and it kind of slows you down while you're working. I love this dry adhesive stuff. You see those little white dots? They're teeny tiny glue dots. When I am doing something directly onto templates, I like to print them out at like 20% opacity so that it kind of recedes in the background and the emphasis is on the garment design. So cut out all your drapes and start laying them on your flats templates. And you don't have to try to match the size. Try to detach it so much from what you know of the dress form underneath and put it on the figure however way you like. Play with the different sizes of the drapes. Play with the placement. Here I'm using the glue adhesive. Just lay that down. Peel it back up. All those glue dots are going to be stuck to the back of that paper now. And then place it on your flat figure template. I sell both fashion figure templates and flat templates in my Etsy store if you don't want to build your own. And finish out the rest of your design with your pencil. And if you printed out some mirror images of the drape, you could be making symmetrical garments. You could do more of the design by using the collage. People who do not feel strong in their sketching ability really love using this sort of thing to communicate their designs. And a lot of people, they will kind of finish out, make it prettier, like this would be a rough draft, but then they would try again and make a prettier version and do that for their final illustrations. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's all about communicating the design accurately, and if the best way you're going to do it is through collaging your drapes because you're strong at visualizing 3D first, go ahead, why not? I did a simple drape just so that I could illustrate very clearly what it is I'm doing and people can relate back to my original drape easily in their minds. But don't feel like you need to be limited to symmetry or, standard tucks or pleats or whatnot. If you're new to draping, I recommend you start a little simpler, but yeah, sky's the limit. Or I guess gravity's the limit. Like, take your fabric, take your pens, and explore how you can create beautiful 3D forms on the dress form, on the body. I'm very no coffin garments, so think about the sides, think about the back, and drape. Take pictures of everything, take the drape down, drape a new thing, take more pictures, do it again and again, and have like a really great, awesome draping jam sesh, rocking out to whatever music you like. And then I took these photos with my iPhone. I shoot everything with my iPhones. I shot this video with my iPhone. So you don't need any special equipment beyond whatever you probably had in your kit already. Now, I would love to take credit for this, but this is not a cool thing that Zoe invented all on her own. This idea of actually using drapes that you created on the form and incorporating it into 2D sketches to explore is something working designers do, is something students are encouraged to explore in many fashion schools. So sadly, I cannot take credit. But yeah, this is a process that works for a lot of different people. I like teaching a lot of different processes because I know that everyone thinks a little bit differently, learns a little bit differently, and designs a little bit differently. And so I wanted to offer this because I think that you can get some really great results working in this way. If you watched my fashion design tutorial on developing a collection and merchandising a collection, I think that was posted last month. One of the things that you can do to make sure that you have a cohesive collection that still has a variety of looks is to take one design element and move it into different bodies, into different shapes, and play with the scale and play with the fabrication. And this is a really great way of also doing that. So not only are you exploring design possibilities, but once you have some things going on, you can take this drape that you did, this corner drape, and start moving it around in different sizes around the body. And you start building out collections that has garments that start looking like each other, but still have the variety. I love encouraging people to get their hands on some fabric and really play with it. As much as I love sketching and painting, designers, always be aware that our actual final medium is fabric. It doesn't matter if you're really great with watercolor or know exactly which brands of markers are the best. For designers, our final medium is fabric. So do go and play with fabric, play with it in your hands. And so that even if you're not doing a ton of draping, working in the industry, you know how to play with fabric, you know how working with fabric feels, so that when you're picking your fabrics, you remember, oh yeah, this one was so slinky and it hung like this and it moved like this. And you take all that fabric knowledge and use that in your material selection, in your future collection, etc., etc., all those good things, right? I am always going to push for my designers to be more knowledgeable about working with fabrics, always. So what do you think? I personally love these. I think it is a really super cool and different way to show off design communication. And I encourage you all to grab a scrap of fabric and try this out for yourselves. I really hope you learned something new today that really helps you in your design process. I would love to see how your collaging projects went. So don't forget to hashtag Drawing with Zoe Hung on your projects on Instagram so I can check them out. Please give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new today and thought this technique was really cool. Drop me all your questions in the comments. Let me know if you want more fashion design process videos like this one. Check out zoehong.com to sign up for my newsletter. And if you are looking for product recommendations, go check out my Amazon shop. I make a little money from the shop, but the prices remain the same for you. Links are in the description box, as well as links to the rest of my social media, related videos, all that good stuff. As always, do not be discouraged if it doesn't come out beautifully on your first try. Most of the time, it does not. This is why my classroom motto is always hashtag practice, not magic, hashtag always be practicing, hashtag if your first one sucks, you're right on track. So go practice, have fun, and I will see you in the next video.